chance to watch Into the Woods.
Yes, we did.
The Stephen Sondheim musical now put on screen, not the PBS on screen, but now done by Disney.
On the silver screen.
On the silver screen, which is unusual. A little background going into this. I know and love the musical. Steve was going
I had
into
never
it
even
blind.
heard of it. I enjoyed the performances, and I thought Meryl Streep was amazing, but I wasn't too big of a fan.
Okay. My quickie review was, as someone who loves the musical, I thought it was more faithful than I thought Disney was going to do with it. So I overall was pleased, and I will watch it again.
So the movie stars, I guess you could say, it doesn't really star anybody. It's an ensemble cast.
It's an ensemble cast.
Anna Kendrick is in the movie.
She plays Cinderella.
Meryl Streep is in the movie.
She's the witch.
Chris Pine is in the movie.
Oh, he does so well in this movie,
Yeah.
too. I was a little skeptical because that role, Prince Charming, is such a funny role, and Rapunzel's Prince, they're such funny roles in the musical that I was like, Chris Pine, okay.
Yeah.
But they did.
He did fine.
I thought he did great.
Yeah.
I thought he really hammed it up and played with the role, which is what you need to do for that role.
Yes.
And I also thought that was a moment and a sequence and a character that the movie played with as well. There were things in the look of the movie, like where they set the song Agony in a waterfall and how they use the environment to upplay the ridiculousness of it all. I thought that was very well done.
There's also Tracy Ullman is in the movie.
Tracy Ullman may have been the best casting choice in
She
the
was
film.
great. I love Tracy Ullman.
She was fantastic as Jack's mother.
I wonder if Tracy Ullman in the scenes where like Meryl Streep was like witching it up was like, I was doing that.
I
before
wanted
you
to
ever
do
did
that. Yeah. But Tracy Ullman was fantastic.
Emily Blunt is in the movie as the baker's wife.
And James Corden as the baker. They were great. I thought they did
yeah.
a good job. I mean, the baker and baker's wife storyline kind of start us off and carry us through bit by bit throughout the entire show. It's an intermesh of all stories you may or may not know. And what I love so much about Into the Woods, both the musical and the movie, is that it kind of takes everything you know and says, yeah, it's all good and they lived happily ever after. Just kidding.
Yeah,
and then it
I like
goes into
that
the
too.
reality
Yeah.
of nobody is perfect. Nothing's as cut and dry as it seems, and life is complicated and is gonna
Right.
get messy.
I get that, and I like that it was like two different movies in one. It was like you've got your traditional Disney fairy tale, happy everyone lives happily ever after type thing, and then you have the consequences of these fairy tale things,
Which weren't exaggerated at all. Like if you think
No, I
about
don't think
Jack
so.
and the Beanstalk, he stole from the giants and then killed one.
The problem I had with it more than anything was, as a stage play, I'm sure it works that we are being told these amazing things have happened to these fairy tale characters, but in the movie, you never actually see it happen. So, like, Cinderella's character goes to the ball, it's 3 nights of the ball, and she goes every time and dances with the prince, and they have an amazing time, apparently, but we don't get to see that.
No, you don't get to
And
see
Jack goes up to the giant world and steals coins and the harp and sees giants and it's magnificent. We don't get to see that. We don't get to see all these kind of things that would have been really cool to see. And I get it from a stage play perspective. It's moving around the medium and using it in a creative way to tell a story, which is fantastic. But with a movie, you have the freedom to kind of show that and kind of
Yeah.
expand on the play and expand on the universe. And why not show these things that sound exciting and would be great to see with Disney flair, but unfortunately they didn't show those things.
I think that's a valid critique. I think probably one of the obstacles, though, that they'd face if they did want to show all those things is then they're doing 5 movies in one.
Sure.
And that would be like 15 hours long.
Right,
if they showed all of Cinderella's story and all of Jack and the Beanstalk's story and all of the Bakers and the Baker's Wives story. So what they do is they and now, meanwhile, at this person's house, and now back to this story,
Right.
and
It
now
just-
back to this. So you're getting like
Right.
recaps every time you
but
go back
that's the
to
thing.
something.
It's like I understand it, but it felt very disjointed. These recaps weren't enough for me.
Okay.
Like I just wanted a little bit more out of it. When the movie ended, for me, I felt like there's this fantastic message. Which, I won't spoil for those of you that haven't seen it and have not seen the play and don't know about the play. There's a great message, which I appreciated and enjoyed. And I did appreciate this take on the fairy tale world and the consequences of being an asshole, which most of these people were. They were all assholes.
Everybody's an asshole sometimes.
I mean, I know, but I mean, and I feel like they learn their lessons, perhaps. Who knows? But that's not here or there.
Life goes on.
But my thing is I'm a fan of musicals. Sondheim is great. I feel like I love love Sweeney Todd, and not just the freaking Johnny Depp movie. I like the Sweeney Todd play. I'm into it. I just feel like there wasn't like a big awesome song that I was humming afterwards. I don't know. That's not really the point of Sondheim, I guess we were reading and we were finding out.
Yeah, Steve was doing some research on Sondheim this morning because he was upset that there wasn't really a big show-stopping number.
Yeah, where's the I dream a dream?
Sondheim doesn't
Like,
really do
that.
But to me, I leave Into the Woods singing Into the Woods for days. But again, I love that musical. I grew up with that musical. So my kind of downsides to the movie were that they glossed over a lot of the really dark stuff, which we knew when we heard that Disney was going to make an Into the Woods, that they were going to do that. Now, that being said, they had Stephen Sondheim on board, so it was more faithful than I thought Disney would make it. Like, I thought Act 2 was going to be, they're not going to kill anybody. Like, how, they'll make it like, this person got hurt, but they're okay in the end. No. I mean, they actually went there. They didn't do it as brutal and as gruesome and as dark as I would have liked to have seen it. But again, I'm sticking to the source because I love it.
It was nice to see Disney kind of go there.
Exactly.
And it was kind of unforgiving in some parts.
Right. And that was my biggest problem with the Johnny Depp cameo, is that whole role. The Wolf is an awesome role. And the reason that role is awesome is because it's so dark and sexual and gritty. And if you take that out of it, it's just kind of the Mad Hatter with fur.
Yeah,
that's what I saw watching Johnny Depp do that. So that's one of my favorite moments of the play, and it was not one of my favorite moments of the movie. And I don't necessarily know that that's Johnny Depp's fault because, like I said, they censored that a little bit. But overall, I enjoyed it. The music was faithful. The story, with the exception of whitewashing in the ending, and they did change a little bit of the ending. If you're a fan of the musical going to see the movie, know that they did change the ending a little bit. I won't say how because I want you to be surprised. But overall, I did enjoy it. It gave me that music that I love, and it gave me that feeling that I like after I see Into the Woods.
For those of you that haven't seen it and don't know anything about it and don't know what Into the Woods is, but you're a fan of musicals and you're a fan of kind of like the Disney fanfare and great performances, then definitely go see this movie. But if you're kind of not into musicals...
If you're not into musicals, don't.
Yeah, if you're not into musicals, you're not even going to enjoy it a little bit.
Because it's not even like, we're going to act for an hour and then we'll sing a song.
No, right off the bat, there's talk singing the whole time.
It's a talk singing musical.
Sing, talking, talk singing. And also, if you're a huge fan of the musical like Trisha is, it seems like you'll enjoy it, but you'll see what's wrong with it kind of right off the bat. But for the most part, it's an enjoyable musical.
What's wrong with it? I mean, you're translating it to a different medium, so there's different things. Like Steve said, because it's a different medium, they could have gone further in some areas with the visuals. But because it's Disney, there's some whitewashed areas.
Yeah. That's it for our review of this film. If you guys like it and you want to see it and you liked it or you hated it, let us know in the comments and we'll talk a little bit about it. I'm Steve Zaragoza.
I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.